All right, you see the title, ranking every on-screen yellow Power Ranger. I've done red and I've done blue. This is the last of, maybe in my opinion, and probably most people's opinion, the trinity of Power Ranger colors, the big three: red, blue, and yellow. Yellow not being in every season, but is in most of them. So let's get right into it. Starting off with Trini. Trini being maybe a link to from Billy to the rest of the team with her intelligence, helping out with that. Early on, she has a great episode of overcoming her fear of heights. Really good lesson in that one. Her legacy now lives on once and always with Trini having a daughter now, and them riding off Tui Trang. And I think a good way. I think that worked out pretty much overall. But is she S tier? As a character, is she S tier? Honestly, I'm gonna be honest and say no. There's just a lot of Mighty Morphin. There's just not much development or arcs within the characters that hold them back a little bit, in my opinion. But I mean, she is amazing. Rest in peace to Tui Trang. But now we're gonna move on to Aisha. Aisha had one of the weirdest send-offs in all of Power Rangers, with her pretty much just swapping places with one of her ancestors. And I'm not sure how that actually works, because then how was she born? Because her ancestor was a kid. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe it's not even an ancestor. I could be wrong with Tanya here. But Aisha, it's just not one I remember too well. I'm going to put her... I got to keep it real with y'all. I just do not remember Aisha too well. I'm going to put her D, and I also don't remember Tanya as well, but I feel like she had a little bit more character to her. So I'm going to put her C, and then Ashley. From Turbo to then In Space. Turbo, we all know about Turbo. That one probably holds her back a little bit, but her relationship with Andros and this being in the season of In Space, her being Vital Andros' character, who's an all-time Red Ranger to me, is probably going to put her B in my book. Now, Maya, but as a whole character, I mean, she had a really cool vibe with this whole nature connection with her, for being one of the most attractive Rangers, for having this connection with nature, being an alien pretty much on the team. Really helping sell the Lost Galaxy season. I'm going to put her B. What is her name? Kelsey. Kelsey's not a bad Ranger, but I just cannot remember a single thing about her. And I'm looking at this, all the Yellow Rangers. I don't think there's a true F. So I think I'll keep her D. Maybe I won't put anyone in the F category. I don't think there's an F tier Yellow Ranger. Never mind. I just looked. That's not true. There is. We'll get to them. So I'm gonna put her D just because I cannot remember like anything about her. I think that she's a rock climber. Now Katie was really cool. I mean, a really good relationship between her and Trip. She's she's probably the only Time Force Ranger who really thought about what they were doing in the year 2000, how that could affect the future. Very cool perspective. I'm going to put her in B. And we get to Taylor here. Taylor is an S tier. She's a Ranger I don't actually remember liking as a kid, but, watch back. She definitely grew on me a lot, being the first non-red we ever see lead a team, besides, like, the Alien Ranger, White Ranger, and then the White Ranger himself. Also the first female we see lead a team. So Taylor is going to go in S tier for me. And then Dustin. First main series male Yellow Ranger, obviously besides the Alien Ranger. And I'm going to put him A. I really thought he was really funny. Ninja Storm was a more comedic season. And, so it put him in a great position to excel in. And he did. And then we move on to Kira, one of the most unique aesthetics in all of Power Rangers with her punk rock theme. Her being a singer, tying into her like dino power with the super scream. I'm gonna be honest, man. I really love Kira. I'm gonna put her S. Comes back and once a ranger, always a ranger. The Operation Overdrive crossover. I'm gonna put her S. And then we have Z. I remember Z very fondly. Her relationship with Jack, bringing out the best in him. Her duplication power. How she got along with Bridge. Really well. I'm gonna put her. Is she quite A though? I'm gonna say yes because I think I like her more than all of these ones down here. Chip. Gotta love Chip. Male Yellow Rangers pretty much all have to be funny or the comedic one or the goofy one or something to that extent. But he did it really well with being this huge comic book nerd that is loving everything he's able to do, really taking that, really embracing that moment. I'm going to put him A. Ronnie. Cool superpower with the super speed, was a race car driver. Operation Overdrive, not the best season, and I honestly don't remember much from Ronnie within that season. Do I remember her as little as these two? No, I probably have the same amount of memory of her as Tanya. Tanya was a little more outgoing compared to some of the other previous Yellow Rangers that set her apart, and honestly, Ronnie's kind of the same, real tomboy vibe. Really good here, but we move on to Lily. Jungle Fury is one of my favorite seasons. It's probably in my top 3. It bounces back between 1, 2, and 3 for me. And Lily's a big reason why, being that connective tissue in the team early on between Theo and Casey, being more kind to Casey and being the friend that Theo needs at the time. So I'm going to put her S. Very much loved Lily in this season. And then maybe my personal favorite Yellow Ranger, Summer. Obviously, her relationship with Dylan being a big part of it, but her story of, being a person who grows so much from before and after Vinjek's attack, from being the spoiled rich person to seeing this tragedy and deciding to step up and improve herself into being a great Power Ranger, bringing the best out of Dylan, being a voice of reason on that Power Ranger team a lot, the lone woman, and she represented very well. S tier. Letting y'all know now, every single Samurai Ranger, I'm putting F. Except for maybe Antonio. I hate Samurai. I have a video up on it. We'll just leave it at that. Gia. Now, this is a tough one because the actress herself is really big in the community, right? She's definitely one that understands what Power Rangers is to some people and really promotes it. So I have a lot of love for the actress, but the character and you're in Megaforce. I hate it because that cast, when I see that cast is great. And I think that cast, more than most other seasons cast, really, appreciate the opportunity of Power Rangers and shows a lot of love to the fan base. So it hurts me that season sucks. I blame everyone else besides the cast. But just G as a character, I got to put D, all honesty. I think Noah was probably the best character, and I put him in C. So it's kind of hard to be higher than that. And then we move on to Calvin. And this is an interesting one because Calvin is one of all these Yellow Rangers maybe I related to the most. I don't know why. I just see myself in Calvin. But, what is he outside of his relationship with Haley? Is he anything? I don't know. Is he D tier? There's just something bad about Ninja Steel that I like. The season's really bad, but for some reason that makes me like it. And in all honesty, I'm going to put Calvin C for Calvin, and I know I might get some hate for having him this high, which is weird to say because he's in C, and having him maybe over some of the other characters down here, but that's my personal opinion. And then Zoe. I feel like they could have done a lot more with Zoe. When I talk about, missed opportunities, but a season still being good, when I think of missed opportunities in Power Rangers, I think of Beast Morphers. And Beast Morphers was still a good season. I still have Beast Morphers as a good season. But her not being able to complete Ranger Academy and then becoming a Ranger, or however they whatever they classify Ranger School and Beast Morphers, her not being able to complete it and then being a Ranger, they don't do anything with that. There's no imposter syndrome that they could have explored with her character. And also, I wish that they didn't there's like a throwaway line early on where it's like the reason she couldn't complete Ranger classes because she had to have a job or something. I wish they didn't do that. I wish she truly failed out, and they do more with her in that regards. But I still do really like her characters, that can-do attitude. So I'm gonna put her B. I am gonna put her B. And then we have Trini from the 2017 movie. I've spoken on my love of the 2017 movie before. I understand the tone clashes within the movie, the darker aesthetic being the reason it didn't do well. But the reason I love that movie is the cast. I loved that group of Rangers that they put together. But for those group of Rangers, in order of focus, it's like Billy and Jason. Jason and Billy are like 1 and 2. And then it's Kimberly at 3. And then her and Zach, 4 and 5. So she is one of the lesser developed ones within it. I mean, there is a cool milestone within Power Rangers of her being the first, like, openly gay, openly LGBT member character in Power Rangers. But actually, as a character, I'm trying to think what all she does in that movie to put her, for her to stand out. I mean, she's definitely one of the more edgier ones, I guess, between the two. We see her friendship. I think that's all it was going to be. I mean, I could be wrong. We never got another movie. But her friendship with Kimberly developed a little bit. If it was per minute, well, maybe if it was per minute, because like I said, I really do like the cast, and I like how they all work together, so I would have her pretty high if it was per minute, but I think I'm going to have to put her B, because it was just one movie, and I wish there was more. But there's not. But yeah, that looks like it. This is my tier list for Yellow Rangers. I ranked the Blue Rangers. I had an S tier before, so I'm going to do that again here. Like I said, I think Summer is probably my favorite. Taylor's probably my least favorite in S, but she's still S. I'm going to make that clear. She still is S, but she's probably my least favorite in S. Kira or Lily? I think everything Lily does, Summer does better. So Kira's a little more unique. So I'm going to put her... I'm gonna put it in this order. Tell me what you want me to do next. Got a lot more coming up on this channel. Some more Wevault videos on the way. So please like and subscribe to see more. And as always, keep gaming.